Welcome to What's in the DVD Box podcast. The only podcast asking what is in fact in the DVD box. Introducing your hosts, Jonathan Lind and David Winkler. Now, welcome to the pod. Welcome back to What's in the DVD Box podcast. David, what's in the DVD box this week?
Jonathan, this week is Manchurian Candidate, which is a nice little jaunt of a film from the early 2000s that I did have to go into the Wayback Machine of why I had this in the DVD box. And I think, I don't know why, but I recall seeing this movie in the movie theater. Don't know why I would have made that choice in my life at the time. But somehow I got into a movie theater. Somehow I liked it. And it fit the criteria of having an R rating, I guess, at the time for Dave to walk into Walmart and pick it up.
Okay, so this came out in 2004.
Yep.
And you were not allowed to watch R-rated movies. So you'd have been like, early high school, late middle school.
Yeah.
Just going to see Denzel.
Yeah.
Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
And you were like, wow, what a movie. In like 4 or 5 years, we're going to have another chance at this one, and we're picking it up. Do I have that right?
It doesn't make sense.
Okay.
But much like this movie, maybe my recollection of past events is a little bit murky.
But I'm still hearing there's a good chance that those events happened.
Yeah. At least I believe so.
Okay.
So we're running with that as a reason.
One day, we're going to have this podcast on video, and you will see my startled face of, wow, okay, didn't expect that for this movie.
Yeah.
Especially if any of the movies in your DVD box and the origins of the said DVD box. Wow, you saw this in theaters and we're like, yeah, let's do this again sometime. Okay.
Otherwise, have no idea why I would have picked this one up. There's lots of like drama pieces from the age that I didn't pick up. But I did this one. And for whatever reason, I remember watching this. I think it was probably because the girl went. And I thought,
okay,
that's the only thing that makes sense. And I don't know why that individual would have watched this movie either. But here it is. And then 20 years later, we're sitting here talking about.
Okay, so for me, I
hadn't seen it, right?
I hadn't seen this.
Okay.
So it would have been one of those movies that like seemed like a good idea to put in my DVD box to like, come across as like, oh, that's deep and dramatic and
class it up.
As an 18-year-old would have thought like, oh man, this is deep. This is highbrow. Me now is like, we'll get into this. This is a little heavy-handed and there's like, wow, look at this mystery that like doesn't really connect with anything else for any kind of symbolism. Okay, what?
Yeah.
And the ending for me was kind of flat. Like, okay, I guess we did have to end it. So yeah. I don't think, no, I'm very clear on this one. This wouldn't make it in my DVD box today. I think it would have at 18 been like, oh yeah, I'm into psychological thrillers, especially if it was like trying to impress someone, particularly a girl. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Count me in like, oh yeah, I watched The Manchurian Candidate. That's deep. Yeah, brainwash. You got to be scared of that.
I think my response to you when this one was picked out of the box was, I think this is a good movie. That was what I remembered about it, seeing as I've seen it at least twice in my life. You know what? I'll die on that hill.
Oh no. Okay. So give me the synopsis this time around. What did you think?
Yeah. Ooh, a synopsis. That's actually kind of tough in the case of this movie because it's a little bit frantic, but we have,
well, give me the synopsis of like, are you happy that you watched it a third time? Would you recommend
synopsis of my feelings?
Synopsis. Let's dive into your feelings. Like, are you happy that it happened a third time? Would you say sometime in the next 3 weeks, would you be like, yeah, I'll watch that movie again or not? Like, do you think anyone else should go see the movie?
I'm not happy about my feelings after it, because maybe not as confident in my estimation that it's a good movie, but it's, you know what? I'm happy to talk about my feelings right now. It's a little bit of a what 18-year-old Dave thought was a great psychological thriller. Mm-hmm. But I mean, there's good acting in it.
Yeah.
I was happy about that. Man, some quick cuts stuff that we still get in the other Denzel movies that are around are definitely involved with this early 2000s stuff that now that you brought it up in a previous episode, I can't like unsee it, and it annoys me.
A little bit of the
and I hate that you ruined that for me.
Chaos cinema.
Yeah.
It's this one, like, not nearly as overdone as Man on Fire.
True.
Not near, like, that movie was like, oh yeah, okay. Are we
scene
done with this? Oh no, now we're doing a wide sweeping shot, and we're doing the, chaos cutting, and that movie, like, No,
I'll double down on that. Actually, the more that you're talking about it, the more I actually like that one again.
You two-time son of a gun.
Yeah, it actually made this one feel worse because they didn't do it enough, actually.
Okay, all right. Got it.
Okay, but
so
synopsis,
not a serious endeavor for you. Okay.
Okay, no. I would love to hear your feelings about this, seeing it the first time as an adult.
I was kind of mixed, because I think the first maybe 2/3 of the movie, I kept feeling like, oh, whoa, what's going on? I could feel myself getting pulled into the movie.
It's good.
Which is
positive.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
You'd rather have that than like, all right, let me just check out for 10 minutes and then see if the plot's moved along. No, it hasn't. Okay. This was like, what? Whoa, this is weird. I think the first thing that really got me was, okay, you get into it, pretty clearly signal like something's going on about the past. And then at the time, it seems like they just, oh, this is what happened. You're like in this lab and like something happened. Like, oh, okay.
Okay, yeah.
So for me, it was like, oh, we're going to just, oh, there's a twist. And then we're just going to show you the twist in the first third of the movie. That, like, I was like, okay, what's going on? As the story unfolds, it's like, oh, okay, I see what's going on. They were doing a sleight of hand. I'm going to show you what was happening, but you don't actually know what actually happened yet. So it was one of those like bluffs that, I don't know. It felt a little janky. Overall, to me, the ending was a little flat, and it was kind of like, okay, we didn't really like pull this all together, and I didn't have okay. I wanted a clearer sense from a few characters that I could actually anchor on, and it was like every single character, it was like, oh nope, you can't really trust them. Oh nope, there's someone else, or oh, we don't really have a full, and so there was like a disorientation to the final third of the movie, I think, for me. And so I was like, I don't know. It was not bad.
Yeah.
I'm not mad that I watched it. I think if you're into like the psychological, the drama, probably a good one to go see. I wouldn't expect like an all-time great film out of this.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I put it.
Yeah. I mean, I would almost agree that it's borderline recommendation worthy. Mm-hmm. What I will say that after watching it was the acting. There were some acting performances in here that I think were really good. I mean, Denzel hits the beats that you're going to expect him, but Meryl Streep just like commanded every scene. And it's one of those ones where clearly the best actor or actress in the scene most of the time.
Yeah.
And like, where she's making someone like Jon Voight look kind of normal. I know Jon Voight can act better than he did, but was sharing the screen with her, sharing the screen with some of the other actors, she just was like, I'm the boss.
Completely overpowering. Yeah, I know the exact scene you're talking about. I kind of went back and forth on like, man, they didn't really give him a whole lot to work with, but also like didn't give his character a whole lot to work with in the whole film anyways. It's one of, he kind of just is a background character that is in a scene or two.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you there. I would have liked a little more writing for his character, and you could have seen those two go sort of try and do like a little match of wits.
Yeah, but that was maybe the subversive. But
again, and I think that kind of illustrates a little bit the wider thing of it's like, okay, there's definitely some potential and some good about it. And you can see that like, maybe it didn't quite achieve that, legendary status.
Yeah.
For a couple things here and there. I cannot stress enough how good Meryl Streep is.
Yeah. I mean, really, she is like just a commanding presence in each scene, which is just everyone's listening to her and you buy it 100%. That's where it's like if you just have someone up there being a blowhard and be like, they have to listen to it because this person's position in the movie is good, but she sells it 100%. If she was a boss, be absolutely terrified. As an individual in this movie, when there's like, other characters commenting on what she does, it's like, yeah, buy that. Yeah, she's scary.
I put that in my notes. Kind of the third scene that I even wrote down about was like, oh, Meryl Streep's here. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Buckle up.
Yeah.
And I think she has this way of, just her commanding presence. I think a lot what we've seen with Denzel in a few other movies so far, where it doesn't matter where she is in frame, doesn't matter how prominent or not she is in the scene itself, you can't help but say that's an important character.
Yeah.
Everything that she's saying is important to what is happening in the rest of the movie. And it's like, that can't all be writing because there's other characters in the movie that aren't like that.
Yeah.
And it's written by, one writer.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it. And in that scene that we're talking about in the beginning where she comes in and basically sets the stage for why her son is going to be on this vice presidential campaign. Mm-hmm. In my head, I didn't remember that particular scene, and I was already like, oh, this is going to be kind of annoying, maybe a little girl bossy, that I was kind of like rolling my eyes at. And then she just was like, took it away. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm wrong. That's fine. I'm wrong.
Yeah.
She's pretty much the GOAT in this, and everyone else is just looking at her like I'm looking at her like, all right, yeah, we'll do whatever you want, lady.
Yep.
I'll vote for this guy. I don't even know what he does. He seems a little baby face, a little bit sus from the outset. So, but I was all in.
Little dead in the eyes. Wonder what that's about.
Yeah, wonder what that's about. Yeah, so getting into it.
Yep.
From the beginning, they're obviously trying to set up some backstory with whatever's happening in this generic seeming Middle Eastern country at the beginning. But they do seem a little heavy-handed about trying to play like this is sus from the beginning. That I was on it was kind of off-putting a little bit to me, and that's because maybe I knew what was gonna happen, like I knew the end of the story. But for you experiencing it, did you feel like the first little bit up until where you're saying that they like literally let you in on the plot? Did you feel like it was too heavy-handed, or was it starting to bring you in a little bit?
There was no in the deception department of this film. There was not a single quality thought found. Like I don't.
Okay.
So that first scene.
We're gonna merch the deception department.
What is Buzz Lightyear said? There are no signs of life. That's what it's called. In the ambush scene, and this is kind of I think representative of the whole film, when they're trying to say, "Oh, we're going to deceive you." Yeah, there's no signs of life there. Just not happening. So that first scene, ambush, I'm thinking, oh yeah, all right, we got some action. We got Gulf War era, armaments, cool. Hop out, and the main character's POV, you get headbutt, and then you still see some other things go on. It's like, okay, cool. I did see the couple frames of the person who knocked someone out. That's not legit.
Yeah.
So this is cool. Practical effects. I love that. Sweet.
A lot of cutting, a lot of fast cutting in there, which tells you.
We'll see if this. Yeah. So it was like
something.
Hey guys, something suspicious here. Uh-oh. Like, okay. I love the movies that like really like have those details that are very subtle that you find on the second time through. This movie was like, we're going to show you those details front and center while we're trying to pretend like we're deceiving you. So that element, definitely took me out, and I was like, okay, there's going to be some twist. But then maybe like 4, 5 scenes later, oh, the twist is, they're just telling us what the twist was. Yeah. Okay, that's weird. So there was like, it kind of showed its hand, and then it like showed its hand again. And it's like, okay, obviously there's going to be some shadowy thing going on. I think it just like, it tried to make pants that were too big for it to fill.
I was kind of annoyed watching it, knowing that I was kind of hoping that it would be a little bit better. And I don't know if that's just a new way of me thinking about movies, that I've seen better examples of it, but I just didn't feel like they had to go that hard with like, oh, okay, you're trying to point out that this Raymond Shaw guy is clearly not, like, everyone makes fun of him, everyone's annoyed with him.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's a war hero. It was just like a little, I was hoping for some more subtlety in it, and they just had none of it. It was just like, we're going to show it. And then as soon as they showed like what was happening, I was like, I didn't remember it being that early in the movie. So it was just kind of like, for me watching it a second time, it was, and already knowing what was going to happen at the end, I was like, I feel like this ruins it. But I'm curious, like, for someone who hadn't watched it before, if it would actually make any sense, or if it could still come back around, because they were attempting to come back around and be like, hey, we can still get you, we can still, the deception department was up and throwing things against the wall. I mean, towards the end of the movie, obviously there is some things being set up, but it's also like, all right, so just talking about the deception department in this movie, trying to get you to believe that Denzel's on the right path the whole time, that lady on the train is just a random bag checker who knows everything about him and is just letting him into his room or into her house. It's not, something sus, but you're kind of hoping for if you're being this obvious about it, then there should be a good twist after the fact. And it never came through like I wanted it to, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. So like, we'll hit on this point a couple more times at least. But as we kind of go through some of the intro scenes, he's speaking at an event. Obviously, that sort of plays into some of the ambush stuff. And then he talks to one of his old buddies, but then he goes home, and it's like, all right, Denzel is not a hoarder.
Yeah.
He's not a hoarder.
Okay.
He can't be a hoarder.
Yeah.
This doesn't, like...
As soon as you see, like, they show him at the grocery store first buying, like, a random assortment of stuff.
A tomato.
That's weird. Cup of noodles. And then you just, like, walk in and you're like, whoa.
He's a hoarder.
Things are not going well. He's kind of, like, looking at this other guy being like, you need to get some help, buddy. And that other guy, I was like...
Had it more together.
Yeah, and I was like, clearly you just ruined that guy's life. He's going to go kill himself, so...
Thank you.
Good on you, Denzel. That's definitely what's going to happen after this fact. And you're like, okay, so he's going to go home to a nice house. Nope. No. Why so many cup of noodles? You just collector of cup of noodles? Like, cool, you just bought another one, and there's clearly a whole cupboard in the background full of these things. And... what is everywhere in the house? Why is it a hoarder?
And then
I don't know.
And it's not even for a reason either.
Yeah.
Because when he goes to do research about all this different stuff, the Manchurian, the stories around these events, he has to go to the library. It's like, if you're going to be a hoarder and be like manic, you should be hoarding the papers, and like you should it would have been a much better so this is a good example too of like, okay, it didn't quite get there for me. If he's like in his house and he's like, okay, I'm insane, so I've categorized all these newspapers because he obviously doesn't sleep ever. So it's like, okay, if it's like a hoarding to a different level to where this guy's obviously cracked in the head and he's going to solve what's going on, but then he's, so messed up that it actually just plays into the whole plot from the Manchurian. Okay, so it's like, he's not a hoarder. Okay, and the rest of the movie agrees with me. He's not a hoarder.
Well, but I'm going to be honest with you. The more you talk sometimes, the more I think that your good points are reinforcing dumb ideas of the movie industry. And I'm like, oh, this is a show don't tell moment. They're trying to let you know that there's cracks beneath the surface. And so what do? They just throw some trash in his house and put some things. You're making an excellent point. You are correct with the situation, but you're also thinking way too hard about it. And I'm just like, this is a show don't tell.
Show that there's just
SDT
boxes of stuff in the apartment.
Yeah, exactly.
For no reason.
It doesn't make any sense.
Any mention of it whatsoever.
It doesn't make any sense within the world or anything else. It's just a point in the movie to be like, hey, this guy's a little bit chaotic too. Just move on from that. Are we going to talk about the cup of noodles? Probably not again. They let the cup.
There was one scene where they had, I think in the hypnosis chamber or whatever, there was a cup of noodles.
Okay, I guess that's what he was doing.
And
he was eating it right before he went and shot the dude. Or while the guy was choking the other dude.
There's a couple times. So the cup of, but it's like the cup of noodles was in there to connect the dots for you. I don't know. The tomatoes show up multiple times, and then you see the scientist like, oh, we can change tomatoes. And it's like, okay. So, okay.
This is the...
Like, give me something more cryptic where, this is probably my internet era brain thinking about it too hard. I think you're right on that. But it's like, okay, nowadays it's like, give me just stuff where we can just make theories up.
Yeah, they totally missed the idea of the internet forum / like YouTube.
What was the symbolism of the tomato? Well, no, they told you what the symbolism of the tomatoes was. He got to start genetically modifying tomatoes. That's all.
Yeah, just no.
I was like, oh darn.
That's okay. That is highbrow apparently for the time to be like, look, do you remember this being a thing earlier?
Did you see the tomato?
Did you see the tomato? We did.
I did, and I was like, that's weird. Probably it's connected. Okay, whatever. Oh, it's a tomato at the end. Like, oh.
At the time, I just thought, this dude's a lonely guy, and this is what lonely guys. So, okay, maybe you just need to be dumb like me and just...
No, you're right. I do think that at 18, I would have been like, whoa, dude, this movie is so deep. Did you see the tomato at the beginning, dude? No way.
I totally saw it. A cup of noodles, and yeah. I didn't make the connection, though, of like, clearly his friend who killed himself was a better hoarder and crazy person than he was, because he just was like, he was about that life.
Yep.
You're willing to write on your walls scary pictures, which was another thing about the heavy-handedness of it, is like, we're going to put some scary imagery in here about the same dream that's happening over.
Yep.
Like, what was that about? Like, they just, like, is it, I think what they were trying to do with it was just say a side effect that they didn't see coming was some weird dream that was like about the situation, but it wasn't even like subtle to be like you knew what was happening, right? Like, I'm sure you hadn't seen it before.
No.
The first time they show anything about this flashback is the whole team hooked up to a bunch of stuff. It was just like so heavy-handed, and apparently he's been having this dream for like ever since then. Like, it's unclear, and he's just like just now figuring out that maybe we're brainwashed. He hadn't talked to any of the people before. It just so happened to be when the guy.
And when he does talk to him, he's like, "Oh no, I definitely haven't had any dreams."
Yeah.
And then the other guy's like, "Oh no, definitely haven't had any dreams." It's like, okay, is that the level of the ruse where you're just going to like, come on, guys, just open up about your personal life. It's not that big a deal.
This is a movie about PTSD a little bit, I think, is what they were trying to lean in heavy to and be like, everyone knows PTSD people struggle alone. Can't let anyone know.
PTSD people. Got him. All right, internet. We're locking this guy up for life.
Don't worry. Oh, edit in post.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I can see that. You know, the commentary is like, hey, we got this miracle drug. We can eliminate PTSD. But like the mind still finds a way to remember. Yeah, okay.
Oh, I wasn't even saying that they were trying to do something noble like get rid of PTSD. I think the movie was trying to comment on PTSD and the struggles that veterans, also known as PTSD people, unfortunately, the veterans are dealing with. That sounds.
It was fine the first time. You made it sound way worse now.
What, calling them veterans? They are worse, aren't they? That's a hot take right there.
Hot take.
Jonathan dislikes veterans.
Whoa.
But no, I do think they were trying to make some commentary on PTSD and what veterans were dealing with around the time of this movie as they were coming back. And even, I mean, some of the experience from Gulf War people in the early 2000s that were already experiencing some of this. So,
yep, that's fair.
That's what they seemed like they were trying to do. And it's just like, man, you're just heavy-handed with it, which maybe that's what audience expected back then and what 18-year-old Dave thought was good enough to make a good movie.
I think some of those early 2000s films were a little heavy-handed, a little bit brazen and that sort of thing. Maybe in a couple of years after we do this for a while, we can go do some analysis on like pre and post 9/11 filmmaking.
True.
You know, there's maybe something there. I don't know. There's a couple other scenes in this, you know, early third of the movie that I think are left hanging a little bit. His dad died mysteriously.
Yeah.
I was hoping for some kind of like, oh, is this part of the connection to all the... Nope. It's just that was it. His dad died mysteriously.
I kind of got the vibe that they were trying to insinuate that Meryl Streep had something to do with it. Like she's willing to do whatever. It just left unsaid.
It was like...
She wanted him to be apprentice rather than a Shaw. And she kind of was like talking bad about him of like, that's why he never made it to...
Yeah.
That. I don't know. In my head afterwards, I was just believable that she would do anything, and she loves her little son so much.
Oh, that one felt a little bit like, yeah, okay, we could have just skipped over that. It didn't really. I don't know.
I mean, I not skipped over it, just developed it a little bit better.
Right. Not leave it where it's at.
Yeah.
It's like do more with it or don't bother.
Yeah, or just have like he died in a car accident.
Yeah.
It did seem sus about it.
You know, all this other mystery going on is like, oh, dad died mysteriously. Okay, well, that's not some... Oh, okay, that's some mystery that we don't care about.
Well, they had the opportunity to like try to force feed it and tie it back into something. And they didn't. So that was showing some restraint by them, you know?
Okay.
Bravo.
You know, golf clap, I guess.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, so he gets the phone call. You see the tomatoes on the table, and they call his full name out.
Yeah.
And it's like, walk around the corner. And he's like, oh, I'm so happy now. I'm going to walk around the corner. And they pull the drywall out. And so talk me through your reaction to that scene. I only have one point that I want to make about it, but
I mean, it was necessary to know that whatever's happening is still like in play.
In play, yeah.
You know, but again, it's just like an eye roll of like, oh, it's literally in his apartment. And then like everybody's in on this, like,
yeah, undetected.
Okay, like, does it have to be there? Like, why does it have to be like in his room? Is this necessary that it happens in another room? I'm like, I guess, but and then it's just some like Eastern European. I don't even know what the guy's accent. It was like German or something, right?
Yeah, it was something. Maybe
I don't know. It was just
Eastern European.
It was villain-esque,
right?
Especially for the time to be like, I don't know what this guy's deal is, but he's clearly doing something sketchy.
My only, I agree with you. I think you're gonna laugh. My only problem with that scene was they take the drill bit out of his head and out comes drywall dust. Like it's just like some chalky white dust.
I mean,
it's
like the skull.
Is there not flesh and blood that they showed? It was drilling all the way into his brain, and that was just straight up drywall dust. They used the same drill bit to cut the drywall.
They did see, actually, as I was watching that, just knowing like how they set the stop up on that thing and everything as they're going through it, I was like, in my head, I just bought into that. I was like, oh look, someone did some research in this movie to know how you would drill into people's heads. So I just was like bought in. I wasn't even like questioning that because it seemed like you just drill in a little bit. I think they just do it kind of like that. I don't know.
Well, I think I don't. We could ask our buddy who's a brain surgeon.
Yeah.
Hey, is this legit? That one was like, I don't know. Of all the things that I would imagine on a drill bit when it comes out of your skull after drilling into it, it's not just straight up like powdery, like dude. It's one of those dumb things that like I have an attention to detail for like a lot of good stuff. And with that comes attention to detail on some dumb stuff.
No, I'm actually, didn't realize we were going to argue about this. But
I don't have to argue.
I actually think,
okay,
let me explain to you. Okay. There was a drill stop on there. You can know how far.
Stop.
Like it goes, you just get to the edge of the skull, and then the next syringe is there to push through the skull, keep it sealed. That's what's actually implanting something. That's what would come out with the blood. I don't think you actually want to take a drill and drill into brain.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that would go too well.
But honestly, I don't know. And we do have a way of finding this out with, yes, Google, but also with a surgeon that we know. So on a future episode.
Okay, so
this has been Jonathan and David's Medical Corner.
Thank you for this medical interlude. That whole sequence was like, okay. It kind of like, again, it was one of those, a lot of it was like, did it need to be that? Did we need, maybe even you can make it more mysterious of like, what did they actually do? And you could have just shown an off, screen. Again,
I think it could have gone white. It could have went white. And then you just show a scene of that doctor being there and then just like starting the drill.
Yep.
And be like, okay, there's something going on.
Something's going on. Leave
subtle enough.
More mysterious. Yeah.
Part that pissed me off about the doctor the most, and this is, again, heavy-handed, when he's in the library, when Denzel is actually like trying to go and find stuff about like Manchurian Global or whatever conglomerate it is, and then he's just searching for this doctor, like finds a name for it, gets him, and then it's just like there's just an article like 20 doctors accused of war crimes or like crimes against humanity. I'm like, is that what? That's just what we were doing back then. That sounds like a BuzzFeed thing that you'd see now of like
war crimes.
Okay. Yeah, 20 war crimes out there. It was
we found them
just perfectly, just the same picture and everything, just the same one floating out there. It was a little easy,
heavy-handed.
I think that's what people believe the internet would be.
We can just find out who's done war crimes.
Yeah,
it's just there.
They don't try to take that off the internet. Maybe they didn't know they could take it off. They were all just like, well, shoot. It's on there now.
Nowadays, it's not like try and take it off and then it goes viral.
Or you just have to wait a whole bunch of years until they just dump millions and millions of documents that are redacted and
partially redacted,
and
not redacted,
and not redacted, and sometimes not covered up with a PDF.
It's good because that specific dump gives us a reference bash manual too. So if you needed another mirror to get your bash manual, justice.gov's got one now.
Okay. Did it?
If you ever needed to learn, bash.
Well, I mean, now I know. I did, and now I know where to go.
Yeah. Okay, so then we go to the train scene. That, my notes here are like, okay, this I'm starting to get pulled in. Yeah, we're not believing this girl, are we? Like, where was your first reaction of like, is she Manchurian? Is she someone else? Like, what is it legit that she just happens to be there and knows him? Or
I guess I didn't remember her at all from the movie, to be honest with you. And in my head, I was kind of like, yeah, what is she? So I guess the deception department, that was the best they had. It was like, clearly she's not a grocery store, like she's not just like, hey, this is a normal guy I would like to spend time around. Mr. buys the same things every time.
Tomato cup noodle
is
guy.
Clearly a serial killer. Let me go hang out with him and bump into him on the train. Didn't believe that at all, but who she was working for, I mean, I guess I just assumed that it was the Manchurian people and that she was trying to figure out what he was doing. But, lots of Denzel, I guess you got to move the plot somehow. So he just got to run around and do whatever he wanted for the most part.
Nothing like moving the plot by sticking the main character on a train.
I mean, classic.
Tried and true.
Classic.
You know what we call that, David? I think you do. Show. Don't tell. We're not going to tell you that you can't tell someone you're moving the plot forward. You just show
SDT
that the plot's moving forward because they're on a train moving forward. It's legit.
It is legit. Also, what it tells me is someone's going to get in a fight or something normally. That's what happens on trains. But he didn't. He just ended up fighting himself.
Yeah. Hallucinated a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so then they get to her apartment.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, yeah, tomato soup. And it's like, okay, here we go again with the tomatoes. Getting beat over the head. Probably one of my biggest problems, and I'll get on my soapbox for this. He gets the thing and drops it down the sink. Yeah. You just got to disassemble the P-trap.
It's super easy. That's all I was thinking.
You just unscrew the P-trap and you get your thing and you're fine.
Yeah.
And like, what are we doing? So I'm talking to you who, and not you, David. I'm talking about one of our listeners right now.
Yeah.
And you may or may not know who you are. You need to learn plumbing. And if you have kids, you need to teach your kids basic plumbing.
Yeah.
Because if and when they get a small implant and they cut it out with a pocket knife and lose it down a drain, they need to be able to retrieve it out of the P-trap. It's real simple.
Also, twist of this movie too, the FBI didn't go looking for that at all either.
Didn't know how to disassemble. It's like, oh man.
Because I was waiting for that to come up. She's like, we retrieved the thing. And they're like, nope. You know what happens when you drop stuff down the sink? It's lost forever.
Gone forever.
It goes straight down.
To
assumingly she's in an apartment building. It goes down 4 stories and into the tunnels of New York, and it's just gone.
Goes to the rat people in the sewers. You will not get it back.
Yeah.
Also, the P-trap exists so that you don't get the sewer smell back up your sink.
Okay,
those exist.
That's a little bit more advanced. We'll start here with.
That's why the P-trap. Look,
I know it's why
I'm
it
doing
exists.
a favor for all of our listeners.
They just need to know if. You two guys. I don't know if you know this or not, but if it drops down there, super easy to get.
I will tell you confidently, at least half of our listeners know this.
Okay.
And so, look, if you watch this movie, it's not terrible, not the worst. Go check it out.
Actually,
there's a scene, and you'll agree with us. Yeah. Like, just flip open that P-trap, and we're good.
Yeah.
Not knowing about a P-trap leads us to one of the most ridiculous, crazy scenes of the whole movie.
Yeah.
Where you get Denzel and Liev Schreiber face to face, hanging in this scene, and it's a sort of a battle of wits, and they're going back and forth, and they're starting to connect, and he's getting through finally, and we're making progress. And then Denzel's like, I've got no other option but to bite the back of your back off and retrieve this thing because I didn't know how to get it out of the P-trap. He bites a dude because
those are the type of things I wonder in movies where do they start with we want him to bite this thing out of another individual and they're like, how do we get there? It's like, well, wouldn't he have one in there? Yeah, of course he would have one in there. What happens to that one that he's trying to get?
Yeah.
I mean, where's a place that you can drop it and never find it again? The sink. Cool.
Classic.
All right. Put that up on the board. We'll run with that. We'll get that filmed. That's good. Yeah, I think that's all that happened. I think they start with a place and then how do we get there? The Hollywood types don't know.
I completely disagree. I think you're so wrong.
You think they started with the P-trap?
They're writing sequentially, and the writers have no idea about P-traps because they're writers, and they don't mess with their plumbing.
I mean, that is true.
They've probably legitimately dropped stuff down the drain and thought, well, that's too bad. That's gone forever. So they're writing it like, oh, what do we do about it be that? Like so intense if you like got this thing and you're like, what is it? And he drops it and it's down the sink and it's gone. And they're like, and they all put that on the board. I love it.
They all sit back. They're like,
this is so good.
This movie's over, isn't it? And
he's like, no. The other one's got to have one too.
There's another one around.
There's another one. How do we get him in the scene? Oh, it's awesome. Okay, now there's all these campaign people around. How do we get them separate? Well, in campaigns, when they have the glass all around, but there's the one room in the middle that like the main characters get to go in, we're going to have one of those.
Yeah.
It's going to be cool. It's frosted glass too.
Yeah, frosted glass.
So like you can't quite tell. And oh man, we're going to have Denzel in there. It's going to be so good. And how's he going to get it out? Is he going to pull a knife? No. They got the knife taken off him because he went through security. Yeah. We're thinking things through.
Yeah, believable.
What if he bites him? Oh, dude, yeah, put that on the board. It's so good.
They pat him down for his teeth.
Then they pat him down, and it's like, oh, man, he's got that thing pocketed up in a tooth.
Just lipping it in there. Yeah.
Now, aside from the bite, what did you think of that scene when they're just kind of in there? That to me was until, he tackles the guy and bites his back. Kind of goes feral. Until that point, I thought that was like an awesome scene.
Yeah. That as much as we're kind of making fun of the movie, when you get two good actors into the scenes together, it does tend to go well. And so they're trying to figure out what's happening. And you're buying the fact that Liev Schreiber's doesn't remember what happened in Kuwait like everyone else did. He's like, I know what the story is. I just don't remember it happening. So you're seeing, okay, maybe they're on the same page with this. Like he's getting through to him. Like I almost don't buy that they should be in the same room together, but then you kind of see like Liev Schreiber, like he's still struggling with something in this. Yep. He's not remembering it. Like he's kind of a tortured soul a little bit. So he's like, feels for Denzel, and that's why he's even allowing him in here, but he's just like, he's too far gone. You're not going to get him. Did they ever explain what that chip was? I mean, I know there was some explanation about like the government was experimenting, putting chips in. Was that what was supposed to be controlling them? Or I thought there was something in the brain. That was unclear why it's in the back a little bit.
It was something like that. The thing that was crazy about it is I think it was they tried to explain it with a patent, which when it's patented, it's like now everyone knows what this is and they all know it exists. That doesn't quite line up with the fact that one of Denzel's buddies along the way is like, yeah, this was all theoretical. Those things aren't supposed to exist. How does it not exist if there's a patent for it?
Yeah.
That says like, oh yeah, this like can suppress memories. Like,
again, the writers are like, They get to a point and they're like, all right, we're going to be doing a scene where it's Mr. Research time. We're going in. We have this thing called the internet now. He's going to be able to go in and get all the information he needs. What's one way that we can communicate about this thing that's not supposed to exist?
Patent diagrams.
Patent diagrams. Which is a good point that now everyone would know, but...
Which really just reflects poorly on the Manchurian organization, conglomerate.
Oh,
they just really don't know what they're doing.
Don't get me started on them.
Because they're maybe an international organization, but they're filing U.S. patents for secret tech that isn't supposed to exist. Like, if you have secret tech, don't file a patent. It's secret.
You know what's funny about the company and how they're like, again, being super heavy-handed?
Yeah.
Every time they're like driving somewhere, there's like a radio, like not ad playing, but news radio playing, and it's just like, Manchurian Global got in trouble for feeding orphans to lions in Africa. And you're like, huh.
Wonder who the bad guy in this movie is.
They seem bad. Like just the most random stuff. They're like, or they got a contract to provide all medical services to U.S. servicemen overseas. Huh.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm sure that was fortuitous for them.
Guess we know who the bad guy is in this movie.
Yeah, bad guy in the background. Okay, I rewind a little bit. Denzel meets his buddy from, I forget, kind of another Eastern European guy, scientist. Yeah. I think he worked
Delp or something.
Yeah,
it was Delp.
He hits him with the, what if this is all a dream? What if you're still back in Kuwait? I'm like, whoa! Now we're cooking. Now we are Inception.
Yeah,
we are doing it. As you might have picked up already, I don't think that quite reached that level. No. But that was like my hope for this movie is like, oh, we're gonna just really start messing with you, and you don't know at all what's going on. No, it stays pretty heavy-handed the rest of the way out.
Yeah, because then all of a sudden you're like, as we're describing this, if you've never seen this movie, you would expect, Denzel attacked the vice presidential candidate and bit him. Clearly he's in prison and the movie's over.
Nope.
But no, just not pressing charges.
Not pressing charges.
Completely cool. Which, even if they don't press charges, I think, can't the district attorney or whoever is they can still pick it up. It's fine. Do you want this person out on the streets? Don't some officials have some say in being like, this person doesn't seem like they're good.
It's fine. Although, now you could say the film had no idea that this was happening, but Manchurian Conglomerate could have been pulling strings to say, let's sweep this and keep Denzel in play.
Yeah.
Which is what they should have done. They should have made a big deal about this. He's unsafe. And you see and get tipped in like, uh-oh, Denzel's caught in the web. At no point until the final 10 minutes of the movie do you think, uh-oh, Denzel might be caught in the web.
That was a twist, though, right?
Yeah. But again, everything else was like, oh, twist, fake, twist, fake, twist. And it's like, if you would have played this as you are pulling for Denzel to not get caught up in this web as he's getting deeper and deeper and caught up, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That lets you do almost all the same scenes, but then you see that there's someone ahead at every turn of the way, that everything's intentional. It's really more of a, we're going to try and trick you, the viewer, but we're not tricking you because we're kind of heavy-handed with it, and Manchurian Global's really bad. It doesn't add up of who am I rooting for and what am I rooting for to happen or to not happen?
Yeah.
It's one of those is Denzel going to uncover it?
I do think as we get towards the end and the plot is leading us somewhere, you aren't exactly clear why all of this matters or what, clearly Manchurian Global wants this vice president in there, and then you start to get senses that they want him to be president sooner, but it doesn't happen until late, and you're like, if they would have set up like what they're trying to drive to, which is the president, the actual presidential candidate, who's not this Raymond Shaw guy, dies, and then Raymond Shaw's now president steps in. I mean, I feel like they should have set that up sooner.
Yep.
Because you could have done so much more with trying to subvert the audience with like, okay, who's the killer going to be? Mm-hmm. It's like you didn't even know there was a killer.
Surprise, there's going to be a killer.
Surprise, there's going to be a killer. And immediately
it's Denzel.
And it's Denzel.
Oh, okay.
Within like 5 minutes of each other.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, okay. Like,
Guess
he was in it, but it's I had no illusions that he wasn't brainwashed, just like
right
Shaw was at exact same time. I mean, you already saw him be brainwashed. He shot one of his teammates, so clearly he was in the same boat. You knew as soon as Liev Schreiber handed him the phone once they were talking what was going to happen. Like he was going to say the full name, and then it's going to unlock it, and then what was going to happen. And then they, go and show someone planting a gun. Like they're literally they're showing you exactly.
They
are showing and not telling, which is, and
which is okay. So I don't have a problem with that, but the problem is that it comes in the final sequence that they're showing all this. It's like, if you show some of this earlier, it can be, hey, this one security guard just like dropped a bag in the vent at, minute 25 in the movie. That's
what
weird.
Does that mean?
Okay, whatever. And then, fast forward 45 minutes later, it's like, it really was Chekhov's gun. That came into play. But this is like, he drops it off and Denzel comes walking in behind him like, oh, thanks for the gun, guy. Yeah. I'll be using that now. Like, it just is like, what point did that even make?
They could have started off the movie that way. Presidential running, like you see this guy up there. You don't know anything about Shaw.
You could see the scope of them.
Yeah.
Even.
It was like they're like big. The thing that they were trying to hold off on was that he actually gets elected, right? But was that even in question? Like the entire movie? It was
Who is
like,
he running against?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. They never even like set that up. So it doesn't. There was no like thought that he wasn't going to win. It was like they were setting him in and they're probably going to win. So it's like you set up the fact that they already won.
Classic Democratic playbook, by the way. We have a candidate. He's obviously going to win. Yeah. So, all right.
It's fine.
Fast forward.
Yeah, fast forward.
Which, again, those details don't really matter for the movie, but
what it does is like you just miss an opportunity for us to be questioning who the shooter is.
Yeah.
And that sells Denzel's character trying to chase it down. So he's trying to figure out something's going to happen.
Yep.
He needs to chase it down. Actually, it's him.
Yeah.
That would
insane.
hit like,
all
you got to do is have him chasing someone else. Maybe another one of their like Iraqi people. And then that person, like, I mean, feels like a missed opportunity. And it was just like heavy-handed. Like, I don't know. I don't know if you feel this way, but it does in some of these like heavy-handed ones. It's kind of like they think the audience is dumb.
Yeah.
So they think they need, here's a tomato. I'm explaining to you exactly about tomatoes later.
Bad guys holding tomato.
Tomatoes.
Ooh, tomato.
Tomato, sketchy. Cup of noodles. It's just like the show don't tell. In other movies, like when we're talking about Road to Perdition, them showing like exposition in this movie was done by showing subtle things between characters that told you a lot. This they were doing exposition, and then the stuff that you're like hoping could be subtle is just like, no, we're going to show you that he's a crackpot, even though it's not going to make any sense later with what the character's doing. That's the stuff that gets annoying.
I think you nailed it perfectly on the head. Just how it all adds up to kind of a less than stellar experience. Do you think there's enough bones here that like someone could recut the movie and hit?
Ooh.
Like, is it a matter of just sort of like moving some scenes around?
I think you'd probably need a couple more scenes only to set up like someone that Denzel's chasing after, because it's just like ambiguous throughout the whole thing. It's just like he's finding out there is a conspiracy, but you know there's a conspiracy because they tell you there's a conspiracy, and you're kind of like the like hidden thing is like, what's all this for?
Yeah,
and it's like, and then you find out, and it's like the stakes of it don't seem that high. By the time it gets there, you're just kind of like, okay, like this is what this was all for. Like that they were just letting him run around do all this because it's like eventually we're gonna have him kill. It's like, you don't. Why does he have to be the one to kill? Like you can't. Yeah. Like, don't you know how these things work? You just pay money to people, and they will shoot somebody, and you can even let them. Just all you need to do is find a desperate person. You don't even have to do like this whole mind control thing, which probably costs millions of dollars.
You just called the CIA.
Yeah, you do. There's seemingly lots of people who would do that.
So, yeah. You like, I agree. You probably do need a couple more scenes. It probably is. You probably can get closer with some recut and kind of switch up, where things happen in the movie. You do need something that says this is actually why you should fear that Manchurian gets a sleeper president.
Yeah.
There was nothing like explicit that like, okay, we actually have a real legitimate reason that would be a horrible thing.
Yeah.
It's like, just kind of make up your own thing of like, oh, sleeper president for a corporation. Like, yeah, okay. Yeah. I don't know. All they've done so far is brainwash a unit and make some tomatoes that are better.
Well,
or feed orphans to the lion. Like, okay, where's the like, what do they need to do that's more evil that they haven't already done that they need a president? So
actually,
one of those scenes, I think you'd have to have something along those lines.
But I think they already did, because what you're missing out is they showed a scene where you met them, and it was 3 old white guys talking to Meryl Streep, and they just gave you a little bit of the ick vibes that they were just bad people. And this is, as far as we look at villains overall in stories, the corporate conglomerate villain, I'm a sucker for that every time. Give me some good corporate people. In the way that Rambo was trying to be like, here is this, East Asian, Southern Asian military bad guy, and that's all you need to know about why they're bad. That seems a little bit sus to me. But you throw up a big corporate conglomerate and you say that they're the bad guy, you got me. I'll bought in. Let's take them down.
Don't need any further.
You know what they're going to do? I don't know. They're going to dump chemicals into children's water. That's what they do. They're going to. They got a couple sweatshops. Of course, they're putting chips in soldiers' brains. Whatever bad thing you want it to be, that's what they're doing, and I believe it. So
yeah,
it's some of the best villains, and all you need to do is look at their faces. They just have one of those. They just like, let's cast the right actors that you would believe that literally they would do anything wrong, and I'm just like, done.
Okay,
that's all I need.
That's fair.
It's service level, but
no,
actually not service level, because you need to know about how bad corporatism is in America. There's a whole other thing about that.
Still pretty heavy-handed then, aren't we? Okay, so probably the last scene that hit my list was, okay, the gal that Denzel's been talking to, maybe she's good, maybe she's bad. I hope she's good. She seems kind of cool. All right, she's got tapes. Oh, yeah. Okay, bummer. He comes back. Oh, she's a Fed. Danger. Oh,
sleeping with a gun, too.
How did she get snuck up on if she's a Fed in that sort of situation? Oh, okay, no. But then, it was like, oh, man. Our theory about Denzel, that he is just the king of aura.
Yeah.
Help me or shoot me.
That was a great scene, actually.
He doesn't even aura farm that too hard. It just, help me or shoot me. I don't care.
Yeah.
He gives it that like, I know what you're going to do. He knows that she's not going to shoot him.
Yeah.
He's got too powerful of an aura, and he only farms that aura for like 2.5 seconds flat, and that's all it needs. I don't know. I love that. That just was, in the like Denzel lore of Denzel characters. Yep, he's up there. He's got it. Not a doubt in my mind.
No,
we both know Denzel. You're not going to get shot here.
Yeah, he's not going to get shot. She lowers it, and let's just move on with the story. Are they going to get married now too? I don't know. I mean, that was what I was thinking too.
Probably.
She was like, "Yeah, that was
ever after." I guess.
Yeah.
He shot a guy.
Yeah.
Congresswoman and a vice president elect. Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Afterwards was like, he's just like, oh, glad you survived. Like, what?
The ending of it is, you're saying flat. That's what your comment was at the beginning of the podcast.
Oh, he's just like helping the investigation. No,
it was wild. Like, it was just not flat. It was rocky. It was chaotic. Like, we are just signing off on this completely. I mean, I buy it that the feds would do something like this, but just like, whoa, we're just gonna like. Apparently, they have technology too to just face replace in there perfectly tracked. We're gonna paint the face.
Oh yeah, the little
yeah. Do we even change the hand color? Doesn't matter.
This is pre-CSI technology.
Yeah, just change the face. Just perfectly tracks as the person's walking in on the grainy footage to just a white guy. And then he's just, what's happening later?
Oh,
they're just in some ruins on a beach, which apparently is where all of this went down. Unclear how they got there, and just fine. He's
fine. He's helping out. He's a part of the crowd.
You see this door right here? I ran through this door. Like,
yeah, okay.
That really, all right, yeah. This is why he's here. You see why he's here? He's explaining the door thing where he ran through and then he fell down, and then there was a flashback, and we all know that.
He's definitely a free man because
that's why he's doing it.
He's fine. He was just brainwashed.
Completely fine.
There's no way he's not in the deepest bowels of a federal penitentiary for 16 life sentences.
Yeah. Hey, is this guy that is so brainwashed that a couple words will cause him to go shoot the president-elect? He's cool to just go out, right?
No, he's probably fine now.
He's a poor guy. Like, we had a connection when he told me to shoot him, but I kind of love him now, so...
He's good.
He's good, and we're just fine with it. I'm not fine with that.
Yeah, no.
Is that what the FBI does? Maybe they're not that
I don't
great.
think so.
I mean, I don't know what they do.
I don't think so.
Apparently, they're good enough to be protecting the country from assassins, but also bad enough that they just...
Some of them are okay.
But
we're protecting you from the bad assassins.
You forgot what was...
Because Denzel's got the aura. Yeah. He's a good...
and not even to mention why... It didn't really make sense to me that why Liev Schreiber just doesn't hit the mark he's supposed to hit, which cues Denzel to shoot him or shoot the other guy. Just like as soon as that doesn't happen, it's just like, well, can't shoot him now.
Yeah, there's no way to.
There's really like my finger. I'm gonna take my finger off the trigger because he didn't go stand on the star, which I'm unclear if he could even see where the star was on the floor. He's like walked to a different spot. Had they like.
And then he keeps, Liev keeps looking up towards the shooter's position. He's smiling like, yeah, it's my time. Take me.
Why? I mean, maybe he's like so troubled, but like up until now, he's forgot everything about it. Like,
kill me and my mom. Yeah. Because she's terrible. What?
Which is why, in the heavy-handed nature of this film, it's totally okay that he's freed.
Okay, so maybe
you shot the bad guys.
Maybe Manchurian comes out on top because maybe they're like tired of dealing with Meryl Streep. But she is too powerful, like legitimately too powerful for them to handle. So like, okay.
But then you saw the scene at the end where they're all sitting in a room being like, shucks, we're ruined now. Oh no.
Yeah, we totally believe that. Too. It's like
they don't care. They're just like, all right, on to the next thing.
Again, make them unsurprised and prepared for this inevitability and say, wow, we avoided it this time, but they're still out there and they're still like
Yeah, you just need
make
to be
them actually as good as you have built them up, or as bad as you've built them up to be. That this is just a minor blip on the road to their total world domination. That's scary. That would get Dave
scary
to be like, "This is the greatest movie of all time."
It did. I didn't feel good about them being little sad sacks up on there and be like, "Okay, I know how these things work. Clearly, your human trafficking operation is still working fine right now. So why are you even sad?"
Right. We have the files now. We
theoretically Epstein's Island was still
in play,
cooking at this time. So
disgusting.
Don't tell me they were sad.
Okay. Any other scenes?
No, I mean just
stick out.
I mean the end.
Yeah, well,
the end dropped off, and
that really did.
Whatever.
Okay. Let me take you through a theory I had about this movie, though.
Love that.
As many problems and as good as it could have been, there was a lot of other movies, films, media I found that were potentially connected. Okay. First up, Inception.
Yeah.
We got some like brainwashy level Inception action. You know, we're going into the subconscious. We're changing what you think of what happened. Obviously, the mechanics of Inception is different. So we got that one. We've got Captain America Winter Soldier, because the Winter Soldier's got the buzzwords that, you know, activate him as a sleeper agent.
Yeah.
I was like, boom, that's okay. You know, I can see that connection in the Marvel writing room. They would look at this movie like, we're taking that one.
Yeah.
So we got that. We kind of got Born Supremacy, where he kind of goes back and is like uncovering the memory loss, and it's like real hazy, and then he goes back and like the head of that program is like, yeah, bring him in. It's just another routine thing.
Yeah.
And he like kind of brings him back to his training, like that whole sequence of his memory. I thought that was kind of like, that's a nice little parallel with those two sort of plot lines.
Both done way better.
Also, also way better. With Born Supremacy, you kind of also have like, you know, secret programs. You know, that one is secret government program, and this one it's secret corporate program. Another one, I'd say probably the Terminal List, the first one, where, you know, private company gets a sort of like health contract with the government, does some shady experiments, tries to cover it up, and then, you know, one of them or a couple of them try and unravel this whole thing. Also done way better. Both the movie and the TV show. Another one, maybe like Adjustment Bureau.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, no, I haven't seen that one.
That's another good one where they're kind of like, they're trying to meddle with, you know, current events and, you know, push people in certain directions and like keep things on track. You kind of could, that's kind of where I'm pulling from, of like, hey, if Manchurian Conglomerate is truly playing 4D chess, show them playing 4D chess.
Yeah.
That's sort of what the Adjustment Bureau is, although that's kind of on, you know, some different plot lines. But again, all these other films, way better.
Yeah.
Do it way better.
Way better. Man, yeah. Inception, the mechanisms at which everything's happening there and how to use them are just so much more thought out better.
Yep.
I mean, the story, the writing, the editing, everything is just obviously better in that movie. The Bourne movies are probably the most closely relatable films, and just done so much better. It's the subtlety that it's like, it's a slow drip about what's happening, and they use the mystery to better move along the plot to get to where you're going at the end. And they also take 3 movies to kind of like fully flesh it out.
Yep.
And you're like, but yeah, just the subtle way of actually handling like the not knowing what's happening and how it gets like pulled out is just so much better.
Oh yeah.
And then the Terminal List is like just a better way of dealing with corporate shenanigans.
Right.
It's so much more satisfying of a way of like, all right, he like Denzel's supposed to be that level of like soldier. And it's kind of like, but he's just like this helpless guy, where in the Terminal List, he's like, cool, I'm going to kill all of you. And you're like,
And
buckle up.
I have the beans to do it.
And he does.
Oh, baby.
Oh, baby. It goes down. But
any other movies in that sort of category that kind of strike your mind of like, okay, I could see a little.
I mean, it does feel like this idea of like sleeper agents. I mean, it's a pretty tried and true thing. I can't think of any movies off the top of my head on what's actually going, but like the ones you picked out are perfect in a lot of ways, especially the Bourne ones, because it's an exact like example of it done so much better. Mm-hmm. And what I think, having said all that, watch this whole thing, our frustrations through it is like, well, we've literally seen the same concepts be done better. And I don't even hate the idea of like a sleeper agent in the White House. But even though like what it's like
there's nothing interesting about the premise that they're trying to go for.
Even how it's done, it's like
the stakes.
There's like a million ways to kill the president off. Like you're gonna just do lone gunman thing at the inauguration, or like at the not even the inauguration, like the acceptance of the win thing.
Hasn't
like,
even been sworn in.
Hasn't even been sworn in. Like we're just gonna do this right now. Why? Plus, like, there's no other Secret Service. Like, there's just, I don't know. It didn't hit as well because we've seen it done so much better. So, maybe one that what we see redone better. Also, I think would be better as a TV show. I'll throw that out there.
I think you say that about every movie we watch. So
I do.
That doesn't really mean a whole lot to me, but I do wholly believe that you believe it would be better as a TV show.
I do believe it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
For someone who loves movies, I'm just like, make them all TV
show. I'm sort of in like a post TV show era now. Part of it is this podcast. I like starting to get into movies
again.
And some of it is like a lot of the TV shows are just so campy today that like that's my reaction of like, okay, well, we get another 8 episodes where like 2 things happen and I've spent 8 hours instead of, well, at least this one had the, decency to only spend 2 hours on it or whatever. I think that's more my reaction. I think a good TV show, certainly a lot of these plots will work well.
When I'm saying it should be a TV show, it's mainly because I want more of it. What I don't want is 4 seasons of it. Just give me a tight 1 season where we can flesh out some of these things and you can kind of build up to some more of the payoffs at the end.
Okay, so give me your like your ideal comp for a 1 season show and then maybe like a 4 to 6 season show. For some of these movies that you'd say, okay, my comp is
so maybe I'll explain this a little bit better. I think True Detective season 1 is the best single season of TV ever made, right? It's just done so well. It tells a story. I don't need any more from that. Like, it's almost like an 8-hour long movie, which I think is cool. Like, it tells so much more. You get so much more depth into the story. There's subtlety and there's still enough like keeping you coming back each time. I think that's phenomenally done. I think of like the best 4 season episode, Mr. Robot is that's probably, those are my 2 favorite shows of all time. So Mr. Robot, it has a lot to tell in the story. It keeps moving on. I could probably keep going with it, but it knows when to shut itself down. And it pays off really well.
Where does Breaking Bad fit in the rankings?
In the rankings?
That one's harder because it's longer. There's more seasons. There's what?
There's
7, 5? I could have thought there was 6 or 7, but
yeah, no, 5. They shut it down right at the right time too. Probably top 3. I mean, all of those ones are some of my favorite, just because they're telling a larger story and doing a really good job character building. And actually, really, I think what makes those good, all three of those good, is you can see a well-developed character arc throughout the whole time. So you see Walter White descending into madness. In Mr. Robot, you see the main character, Elliot. You're actually finding out what is happening to him throughout this time, his motivations for doing what he's doing. Also, against a huge conglomerate. So that hits it good. And then True Detective too, like just the descent into madness for them as they try to figure out this crime. It's like a crime kind of like figuring out a crime is good for like a one season kind of deal. So
for the Manchurian Candidate, if you say, I turn this into a TV show, is it a True Detective, is it a Mr. Robot, or is it Breaking Bad?
I wish it would be a True Detective. It's probably Lost. Yeah. J.J. Abrams definitely directs it and leaves after 3 seasons.
It just gets lost.
It gets lost.
Okay.
It's going to be good. Like, this is what I imagine is going to happen. This is why I say this. I think it could be good. I think it could pull people in. And then as its popularity goes off, they don't know how to land the plane.
Yeah.
And it just goes careening off into the swamp. Whoa. I don't know.
Hey, look.
Maybe underneath a canoe in the...
Look, as we know, it's sometimes you get going on something. It's hard to land the plane.
It is hard to land the plane.
Feel for him a little bit.
We wouldn't know about that.
No.
We have no
okay. So then villains of the Manchurian Candidate. I say we kind of have maybe two.
Yep.
One's Meryl Streep's character.
She's a good villain.
And the Manchurian conglomerate. Manchurian LLC. And
Global.
subsidiaries.
It doesn't matter. It's just
Manchurian Global.
What's kind of a catchy name? Manchurian. Cool. What do we put at the end of it?
I don't know.
Global Enterprises. Doesn't matter. Throw a dart against the wall with general names. Does a job.
Okay, so how does Meryl Streep's character do as a sort of a villain?
On the King Joffrey being 10 for villains, Manchurian Global is a solid 7.5. Meryl Streep is 8 only because it's believable and she's just kind of that like mother-in-law that you wouldn't want / mom that you wouldn't want. So just from that alone, like you just imagine having her as a mother and being like, that would really suck. That makes you a villain. And then the conglomerate is just being like, this is capitalism at its worst.
I think I agree with you. I think I might put Meryl Streep's character at an 8 or a 9 because there is, in a lot of older cultures, there's this matron archetype. Like one of the evil matron archetypes is like devouring their young, which is pretty much what happens. Like her son becomes a husk truly for her machinations.
I mean,
like he has been completely hollowed out, and it's not just hey, she was approached for a deal. It was, no, she isolated him and kept him isolated so that she could enact her plots, so that she could do her thing. So I'm with you there. I don't think it was intentional by the writers to hit that archetype. I think they stumbled into it and cast a really legitimate actor to, take it to that, extreme level.
No, I think that's what they were, trying to get to, of like the eat your young type, or just, you can imagine that, like what it's like to have a parent who will sacrifice you for their own ambitions.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I think that's what they're trying to, you said it a lot better than the writers probably would have. They're like, hey, you know what's bad? A mean mom. Yeah.
I'll put that on the board.
And you know what's also bad? Rich, mean moms. Done. Okay, we've got her. Who should we cast? I don't know. Just some old lady. Some middle-aged lady.
We got Meryl Streep on the line. Yep.
Is she going to cost a lot? Yeah, but we're kind of going for that with this. Like, let's just get some good actors in here. All right, fine, get her.
Yeah.
Think she'll do good? She'll do fine.
Obviously.
Yeah.
When is she not?
Never. I actually don't know
don't
that
think,
question.
Yeah.
If she,
I legitimately don't think she has.
I'll tell you this: if she has done bad, it's probably in my movie collection, so we might stumble upon it.
We'll try and find it. Okay, so then let's circle back around. Originally, we were kind of borderline recommending this movie. Where do you land now?
I think I talked myself out of it a little bit. I mean, I would like for people to be able to make up their own minds about this, but with something like this, the only reason to come and watch this is for some of the acting.
Yep.
And if you're trying to like figure out what makes a good actor and who commands a scene, these movies do kind of like stand out for the Meryl Streep types, and even Denzel when he starts like, you know, doing his commanding kind of acting in a room. It's really obvious because it's the same writer for all of it. And it's like, why does this person stand out versus another one? And it's like, they just know how to sell a scene even more so than the dialogue. And these are the type of things where I imagine some dialogue can be adjusted there as they're trying to figure out their own character and they just get into it. So the only reason to watch these kind of movies is like, how are the greatest actors who live, and why do we consider them the greatest actors who ever live? It's because they can take poor writing, poor editing.
Yeah, even middling writing.
Middling, yeah. I don't have to say poor.
Any writing and elevate it, like noticeably elevate it.
Yeah, you should walk away from this being like, wow, Meryl Streep is great. And so I would... In that way, I would say it's maybe worth a listen, but I could see it also just wait for the TV show to come out. It probably will. Might be named something different, but
yeah,
I'm sure someone will be.
You're right. I would probably say if you have seen Inception, Captain America, Born Supremacy, Adjustment Bureau, you're probably not going to enjoy this one because you have seen it done better. Totally agree. If you want to see why people say Meryl Streep's a good actor, watch this movie. It's, from the moment she walks in the room, the first scene, it's like, oh, this is different. This is different. Also, if you liked some of those suspense movies and those sort of psychological elements, you could probably go see this movie. Afternoon, nothing else to do.
Also, we ruined all of it. So if you've gotten to this point in the podcast,
true.
We've
not sorry about that.
Not sorry about that at all.
2004, and if you feel like
there will never be spoiler alerts on this show, because what are you doing watching this?
So that's probably the good enough litmus test. If you're like, wow, I really want to go see this movie, go see it.
Yeah.
If you're like, okay, sounds like it wasn't that good.
Or if you think we're both idiots and you're like, it can't be this bad, then go watch it. Prove us wrong.
If you do that, please send us a message. Leave a comment. And I'm not just saying this to drive engagement because I think it'd be hilarious. And I legitimately love for someone to come along and be like, no, actually you're wrong. And here's why. This movie, really any of the movies, this one in particular would probably make me laugh if someone was able to hey, actually you kind of just missed the whole point of the movie. And I frankly would love to know.
I thought that was going to be me today. And then I started talking about it and I was like,
nope.
Actually, no.
Nope.
No, can't do it.
Okay. That's been Manchurian Candidate. Anything else to wrap up there, David?
No, I think I can't wait for the next movie.
Please.
It's going to be better.
Please get us to the next movie.
Yeah.
Love it. All right. Thanks everyone for listening. Really appreciate you. Follow along, comment, tell us, hey, thanks for the recommendation to never watch this movie. Or if you do go see it, legitimately reach out. Love to hear it. And that offer's still on the table. If you want to watch it but don't want to spend $4 on a streaming service to rent it, call us up. We'll probably send you the DVD.
Yeah, we'll definitely send you the DVD.
Don't really need it in the collection anymore.
Nope.
We'll even sign it.
Yeah.
Just or not sign it if you don't want it signed. That's
if you don't want it
totally fine,
signed. But also maybe give it back after.
Yeah. Okay. If you want it permanently, we'll sign it.
You're giving away all my DVDs. I was like, do I need them again ever?
Yeah. I mean, maybe if like Netflix goes down.
That's true.
Okay.
Okay.
If you want the DVD, you're going to have to really convince us.
Yeah.
It's an option. You're going to have to work for it.
Okay.
Thanks so much for listening. Yeah. Drop us a comment. Follow on Spotify. We're on Substack as well, the DVD box at substack.com. And we'll catch you in the next episode.
See you.